Poullas looks for the takedown. Tsarukyan stuffs it, and this match is over. Arman Tsarukyan is and it has all broken loose as they are going to get these things sorted out here, folks. Izzy Martinez having to get involved. Chad Bronstein having to get involved here, folks. And hopefully security can get this taken care of. Emotions boiling over here in RAF 6.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. I want to talk about Arman Tsarukyan. Arman Tsarukyan, I don't know if you guys noticed, but over the weekend, Arman Tsarukyan just won a wrestling match. And that's not what everyone's talking about. Instead, I want to kind of bring you up to speed with some of the things that happened during that wrestling event, a post-match punch, a stage-clearing brawl, Colby Covington, jumping in, Georgio Poullas speaking out from an ambulance, saying that he's okay, and giving a shout out to his family for jumping in, his dad, his brother, and also letting Arman know and the whole world know that he is still the champ. So what are we talking about here? Was this just like a wrestling match or a warning sign potentially to Arman Tsarukyan? Guys, there was so much drama that happened over the weekend. I mean, you had this wrestling match, there was boxing, there was UFC fight night, you had WWE Elimination Chamber. I mean, guys, it was again another unbelievable drama filled weekend, and I get the opportunity to share all the good nuggets with you guys. So let's exactly kind of cover as to what happened. Look, RAF 06 happened in Arizona. All right, some people call it RAF, some people call it RAF, but guys, UFC lightweight contender, and when I say contender, Arman Tsarukyan's been waiting on the sidelines for quite some time about his opportunity to contend for the lightweight championship title of the world, which is currently strapped around the waist of Ilia Topuria. You guys remember when Arman fought Dan Hooker not so long ago at UFC Qatar and won in decisive fashion. He took Dan Hooker apart piece by piece, and it was a statement win, basically calling out Ilia Topuria and everyone in the division and putting people on notice that he's here and he's coming for the title. And then in a very, very controversial perhaps, but strategic move, Dana White put together a match between Paddy Pimblett, Paddy the Baddy versus Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight title because Ilia was out of action for personal reasons, and therefore he couldn't defend his title. So the UFC created an interim lightweight title, and Justin Gaethje beat Paddy Pimblett in a one-sided affair, which was absolutely shocking, guys. And now Justin Gaethje is saying, I don't want to be an interim champion. I want to be the champion. And now Ilia's back because Ilia was slated to come back in the first quarter of this year, if you guys remember. But now he'll be coming back in the second quarter, which makes it very, very interesting because what is happening in the second quarter again of this year? Right, the UFC White House fight card. That's happening June 14th to celebrate one of the most historic events that's going to happen. You got two events that's going on. You got America's 250th birthday celebration, which is historic. But then you also have a very historical and symbolic event that's going to be going down right there on the UFC White House lawn, and that's a UFC White House card. And if you guys seen my video yesterday, I'm talking about there's strong rumors that we're going to see John Jones and Alex Pereira headlining the UFC White House card in a heavyweight bout. I said heavyweight, guys, because if you watched my video, you would have known that Alex Pereira just vacated his lightweight championship title because he wants to potentially move up to heavyweight. It's not being officially confirmed, but nobody just relinquishes their title for no reason. There's definitely reasoning behind it. We covered it extensively in my video. And all of a sudden, Dana White comes out and announces Yuri Prochazka and Carlos Ulberg to fight for Alex Pereira's vacated lightweight heavyweight championship title. Very interesting, which now means Alex Pereira has officially separated from the lightweight title. And now he's at 243 pounds, guys. He's a big boy. And Jon Jones has officially confirmed, it's officially confirmed that he's in negotiations with the UFC to make his return, to fight on the UFC White House card. That is huge. Breaking news, guys. I covered extensively in my video yesterday. Please watch it. But it's absolutely incredible because Jon Jones wants to secure his legacy. He wants to write his final chapter in his career, in his book. And it looks like Alex Pereira is laser beam focused on winning the heavyweight championship title. The heavyweight division's been in peril, guys. It's in chaos, and it's just wild, wild west right now. It's anyone's game. Huge opportunity in that division. And so if Alex Pereira goes on to win a third world title in 3 divisions, it's going to be unprecedented. He is going to go down as probably one of the best MMA fighters in the world. But enough about Jon Jones and Alex Pereira. But there's also talks about Conor McGregor coming back, and then talks about Sean Strickland taking on Khamzat Chimaev. So guys, it's going to be an unbelievable, historical, symbolic event, the UFC White House card. And now Arman Tsarukyan wants to do the dance on that card as well too. But it looks like we might even see maybe Justin Gaethje taking on Ilia Topuria. I don't know. It's wide open, guys. But going back to what happened with this wrestling event, it seems like wherever Arman goes, chaos follows. Chaos ensues. Just remember UFC 300, that headbutt that Arman Tsarukyan landed, on his opponent, on Dan Hooker. And I mean, guys, like, whenever Arman's in the vicinity of somewhere, a brawl is erupting, chaos is ensuing, like all kinds of crazy things are happening. Fires are burning. But I'll tell you what happened at this wrestling event that he had. So anyways, like, Arman essentially said that, look, he wants a UFC title shot. Okay, bottom line, this is what it's coming down to. All right, there was this match between him and Georgio Poullas, a wrestling event. The match kind of got heated early. There was slaps kind of exchanged between these guys. There was a lot of trash talk that was going on. And then at the end of it, Arman wins 5-3. Then you think it's over, and then it just actually begins. It starts to escalate from there, right? And I mean, after the match, Arman threw a punch and then follows it up with the knee, going MMA on George Poullas. Like, I mean, they were just in a strict wrestling match where it didn't involve, like, it was grappling. Then all of a sudden, and these guys are slapping, punching, and then throwing knees. Like, I mean, something's off. The stage erupts. The fans erupt. The stage floods. Teams are rushing in. Even Colby Covington, who was watching, he got involved. And all of it was broadcasted live, right? I mean, that's not... And Arman was saying, oh yeah, this is just like a side quest kind of a deal. No, this is not just side quest energy, guys. This was like Arman making a statement. It was pure chaos, right? Eric Bischoff, was one of the founders for RAF, this new wrestling kind of gig. He chimed in. But this is where things kind of got interesting, right? There was this disputed takedown in the wrestling event between these two guys, and then for a brief moment, the scoreboard kind of shone 6-3, which would suggest like a 2-point takedown, and then it was corrected to 5-3, and then instead of like awarding Tsarukyan 2 points, the officials counted it as a push out. And so that actually matters when it comes to wrestling, because those fine details could cost a fighter or could cost an opponent their ability to win that match. And I mean, every point counts. You don't want any points deducted. You don't want any points you only want points to be added, right? And so, I mean, Georgio Poullas, he later claimed that, I mean, he was the only one that essentially got the takedown, and therefore he's still the champ. And so visually, it looked like Arman actually secured the victory, but officially, it didn't count. So this is where the frustration kind of crept in. Arman wasn't happy about it. He was getting really pissy. George is gloating and boasting, and he's, you know, I mean, so yeah, tensions kind of came to a boil, and then it came to a brawl, all right? And then Tsarukyan posts another side quest complete, and then on X, he said, F around and find out. And I mean, there was no apology, there was no clarification as to what happened and why the chaos ensued, why he threw the punch and the knee, followed it up with the knee, nothing. No talks about the escalation. Meanwhile, Poullas appears in a video, okay, in an ambulance. And he's got a bloody nose and everything. And then he put out this like emotional statement claiming that he was jumped. He said that his 62-year-old father and brother had to rush in to help him, to save him. And he accused Arman Tsarukyan and his team of outnumbering them. He called Arman a coward. He said that George claimed to say that, look, I'm still the champ, man. No matter what, we're not, you know, we're no longer talking wrestling now. This is personal, and we're talking about the optics. And I mean, look, Arman Tsarukyan is officially the #1 contender in the UFC lightweight the lightweight division. All right, I just kind of alluded to all the controversy and the lead up to what's riling up Arman Tsarukyan, and he seems to be very, very patiently waiting for an opportunity to fight Ilia Topuria for the lightweight championship title. The only problem is you got guys like Justin Gaethje, who just came off his victory against Paddy Pimblett, to win the interim lightweight title. So naturally, you would think the interim lightweight title champion should be fighting the official lightweight championship title. So therefore, we can have one winner, right? Arman's not liking this. You know, he's been waiting for a title opportunity for quite some time. He's trying to build his brand. I mean, he's been very active, you know, training, and also on social media, you know, like teaming up with a lot of young kick streamers, YouTubers, influencers, kind of getting his name out there. He's been changing a lot of perception about him and his character. People are digging what they're seeing. And he's, you know, he was just on, he was with Nina recently as well on her kind of podcast and stuff. And people are loving Arman, man. They're seeing a different light of Arman that they've never seen before. They think he's really cool. And then, of course, he's very vocal on Twitter. I mean, I did a video recently of him calling out Ilia Topuria and saying that he'll buy Ilia's house if he fights him, because he thinks perhaps maybe Ilia is going through some financial issues and stuff now with the separation with his wife and all the personal stuff that's going on in Ilia's life. And so anyways, guys, you can't you can't make this stuff up. This is legit stuff. This is happening. And look, on one hand, you got this controversy that's just building up to the point where it's becoming very visible and people are taking note of it. I was talking about Eric Bischoff before, right? Former general manager of WCW Wrestling. Eric Bischoff was at the event, and he's one of the founders for this event. And he's famous for saying controversy creates cash. See, the triple C's, guys. Everyone's dream, every promoter's dream. Controversy creates cash. And on the other hand, the UFC doesn't love unpredictable liabilities in title fights because they don't want to see their prize fighters getting hurt or injured outside of the octagon. I mean, this wasn't a fight promotion. It wasn't a live broadcast brawl. I mean, so there's there's a lot of unknowns here and uncertainty, and the UFC is not about that. They don't like that instability. They actually frown upon it, and sometimes they even kind of punish their fighters in a sense where not punish them like giving them 10 lashes or anything like that, but just kind of maybe not giving them the opportunities that they're looking for because they're not really staying loyal to the brand and loyal to their cause, apparently, right? So if Arman Tsarukyan's cause and concern, and if his mission is to fight Ilya for the belt, he's not really making a good case of this. But then on the flip side, here's where it gets interesting. Let's go back to Bischoff's comments. Controversy creates cash. Well, if that's the case, then this is the kind of controversy that creates marketing, hype, and equates to big dollars. So the UFC, they also like that kind of stuff as well too. So it really kind of comes down to can you have it both ways? I don't know. But let's be real, guys. Some fans are going to love this. Some are going to say he's a fighter, don't disrespect him. Others are going to say, look, if you're the number one contender, then act like a number one contender. There's a certain kind of decorum that comes along with being a professional and a number one legit contender to the title, right? So anyways, guys, the lightweight division itself is also in peril. It's volatile. Islam Makhachev sits right at the top, okay? Justin Gaethje is lurking. Charles Oliveira is always one win away, guys, one win away from just shaking things up. And look, the UFC is sensing risk, okay? They know that there's a lot of things that are just kind of little volcanoes erupting here and there. The momentum can shift absolutely faster than like a New York minute. So the real question really comes down to is who won this wrestling match between Arman and George, right? I mean, did Arman gain any leverage by doing this event? It seems like he lost control. It seems like he won the event, but it also seems like he lost a little bit of control, right? So now Tsarukyan saying that a side quest is complete. Like what? Like, is that even necessary? But this wasn't really a side quest, was it? I mean, this was kind of like a spotlight moment, if you ask me. And then when you're like one fight away from a UFC title shot, every spotlight, every time you're in the news, in the spotlight, on social media, on any kick platform, YouTube, whatever it is, people are going to take notice. And that spotlight moment matters each and every time because you're in the sport. And perception, optics, the optics of it, guys, can move just as fast as the rankings can. So anyways, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch it. But anyhow, guys, if you did happen to see it and if you did happen to catch wind of it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please make sure to put your thoughts and comments below and hit the like and subscribe button on your way out, guys, and hit the notification so you guys never miss a beat. Was Arman justified or did he cross the line? Love to hear your thoughts. Anyways, guys, I look forward to catching you guys on tomorrow's video.